So today I really just want to share what it's been like for me since the birth of my son. It's been 1 month. He's been born on the 1st of August, and today's the 1st of September, first Father's Day. Just all the lessons and everything that's happened, because like the last month it's crazy. My whole life has been changed and it feels like it's been forever, and like and there's part of me that grieves my old life, that I feel like I've just lost the whole part of myself that I'm not gonna get back. And I can feel my mind telling me, you should have made more use of this time then. Now you've lost your chance. Now your life is over. And like those are in the kind of dark times when my mind is just taking over and running some kind of story. But it's also gone so quick the last month. And I can see myself, if I'm not being present and actually being here with my family, my son, and these moments, that he could just slip by, and he can be 1 year old, he could be 10 years old, and I've just been like, where am I again? Like, it literally just has showed me in life how it can go by so quick and can just slip through your fingers. And whenever I reflect back in my life, like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, I don't actually want to change anything. There's nothing like, I wish I didn't do that, I wish I did that. The only thing that I actually wish more of is that I appreciated it when I was there in that moment. And that instead of wanting it to be different somehow, instead of wanting to control it or change it, I just wish that I was there more and more present and just soaking it up. But so often, in fact, as long as I can remember, I've always been in my head thinking it should be a certain way, or I want it to be like this, so then I can be happy and allow it to be out. And I will do everything to make it, and then it'll happen like that, and then there'll be always something more. And just the other day I was lying in bed. I also want to talk about like the birth, like how the whole birthing process was, which is a big thing, and this whole thing's just been a big thing for me. But I'll just share from my heart here, and I feel like just want to share some truths and just what's real for me. This really helps me, and I hope it helps anyone that's listening too. But where was I? So the other day I was just lying in bed, and I was having all these thoughts of how it was taking me back to like my past, of when I was in my van trip, when I was in Bali, or when I was back in law school or doing bodybuilding, and it was making me reminisce all these times. And it was like showing me, look, you're never going to get these times back, and you've just missed out. Like, you've just skipped all these parts of your life, and you're not going to be like that. You've missed out your chance to become a professional athlete. You're not going to do this. And it was showing me all like the good times. And I can say, like, when I was in those moments, I actually thought it was a bad time, and I was like, my life is not good, I don't have a purpose, I don't know what I'm doing. And then it's like, all those times I could do whatever I wanted to do, but instead I wanted to have a purpose and have meaning in my life and be needed and know what I'm doing, when that purpose then was just to be there and experience it and do the best that I can in that moment and fully just love life. And I was having a bit of sadness and regret, seeing myself that I couldn't appreciate what was right in front of me the whole time. And then like fast forward to right now, I've been seeing that happen like every single day whenever I am escaping being a father by burying myself in my work, or trying to rush through it. Like when I'm getting woken up in the middle of the night, like at 2 a.m. with the baby crying, thinking, like wanting it to be some other way. And it feels like this is like the lesson that I've needed to learn personally, that life is constantly moving. We pretty much have no control, which the birthing process showed me. You can plan all you want, but we have pretty much no control. And the only thing we can control is how present we are with it, and how accepting and loving, and can we just be here? Can I just be here in this moment and love it for what it is? Because I know that if I'm not in this moment right now and I'm wanting to be a certain way, I'm going to look back and wish that I just accepted it for how it was, instead of just trying to control everything. So which brings me to the birth, which I really want to share. It was a crazy experience, and Ina and I had like big plans to do a home birth in water, all natural, and we'll do it in our bedroom. And as soon as the baby's born, we're gonna have the baby right here, and we're just gonna lie in the bed and sleep there, and not leave the room for like weeks, and just be in this love bubble. Like, that was the whole idea. But like really quickly after Ina went into labor at around midnight, and then 17 hours later, like, it's just not happening, and she's in so much pain, and she's like, I need to go to the hospital. And I was like, are you sure we want this? And because we wanted to do it at home, but yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm sure. I'm like, all right, let's go. So we went to the hospital, and like already just by making a decision to go there, like the whole plan is shattered, because we're not going to do it in water anymore. It's not going to be natural, and we're going to be in the hospital. Who, like, if you know me, like, I've kind of built up a bit of a bad image in my mind about the medical system and hospitals, just based on all the research and things I've done. Anyway, we're in the hospital, and Ina gets the epidural and everything, and like it all works out. Like, the baby's born, and the baby it was after 24 hours, 24 hours, and it was a tough one. And the baby was born, and he was blue. He had the cord around his neck, but then there's this split moment where the baby was born, and I just see like my son, and I'm holding him. I think I was the one to like catch him. I feel my heart like opening, like exploding, and I was just like there, like I could feel it all welling up inside me. But then the mind kind of overrode my heart, and it started going on like into a defensive mode, like trying to protect and look out for the dangers, because they made me cut the cord straight away, because they said he couldn't be able to breathe. So within the first minute, I had to cut his umbilical cord, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to leave it in for like 15 minutes. And then they were like injecting stuff into Ina because she had a fever, and I didn't agree with that. And I felt like all I wanted to do in the moment was just melt into the moment with my child and my partner and my family, and just be there. But I felt this need to control and protect come up, and I'm not sure if it's like a good thing or not. Part of it's good, but it also took away from this emotional, heart-opening experience, because I was looking out, I'm like, what are you injecting into her? Why are you taking my baby away? Why does he need to go away for 24 hours? Why is he in the incubating machine? And I'm like, just give him back. Can we just leave right now? And they're like, no, you have this. And so the whole time in the hospital, I was just battling between my head and my heart, like wanting to just get up and leave. And yeah, like I was just on high alert. And then I was also having like a war within myself, telling myself, hey Toby, everything's okay, just enjoy it for what it is. And it was like battling without people out there, battling with voices in my mind, and like the control and the belief systems, and just seeing all these things just happening and pulling me all over the place. And but eventually, like, we managed to say, look, I don't want my baby to be taken away from me just because he's small. We want to sign here and against the medical advice and take him home. So finally we managed to go home, and we didn't have to stay there and do all the other stuff. And yeah, and it was a relief to be home. But once we got home, like, again, I was like, yeah, once we're home, everything's gonna be perfect. We're just gonna be here. But again, like my mind just came in, and it's telling me, hey, there's so much that needs to be done. You need to do this. Because I was Ina couldn't stand up because she was like had some injuries and stuff. And so like the baby and Ina are always just in the room, and then I was like busying myself with cooking, and I'm like, no, I need to do this, I need to do business, and then just stressing about little things that didn't matter, and trying to control things, and then getting caught up in the doingness of things, and rushing, getting caught in the doing, and then just not being present, when really, like, all that stuff could have waited. I could have literally just been there more. And over time, in the last month, I've learned more and more just to be there, and not have to have everything perfect, not have to have everything figured out, or be accomplishing things, or be pushing myself and learning things. Like, it was a beautiful time just being able to switch off my phone, like stop business for a bit, cut off the outside world and just learn to be in the still waters as much as I could. Like, as I said, sometimes like my mind just wouldn't let me, and I would have to just go out and jump around and do my practices. And I'm like, yeah, these are why I've been learning these practices, because in times like this, when you're not getting much sleep, you're getting woken up in the middle of the night, and then having intrusive thoughts of like, there's so much I have to do, but I want to be here, and just being torn between it, and then thinking that I'm being a bad father because I can't be present with my own family, and then having regrets about all this stuff. It's been a pretty like deep back and forth process. Hope you can understand, and it's really showed me the vices and controls that I've got about life, and how I've been wanting it to be always a certain way, but then when it is the certain way that I've wanted it, like not being able to actually even be present and enjoy it, and instead trying to focus on something else that needs to be done. It's always like trying to find problems, and it's like, but there has been many more times in the last month where we've just been sitting there in bed together as a family. He's been playing or just sleeping, and we're just like, I'm here. Where have I been? Why have I needed to feel like I need to do all this fancy stuff and be somebody amazing and accomplish things and achieve things, when like the feeling that I'm looking for and the presence and the love that I'm looking for, it's just here the whole time? Like, why have I been searching for the teacher on YouTube or the guru or some sort of like answer from the books or anything, when the greatest teacher is right here? It's life, and it's been right here the whole time, showing me and teaching me everything. But instead I've been thinking that somehow I've been off the path or having no purpose, but it's been being here the whole time. Like, my child is teaching me to slow down and just love him and be here with him. Ian has been teaching me all I need to do is just be here and care for her. And she doesn't need me to be a superhero. She just needs me to be here and present. And sometimes when little baby, his name is Jaya Kwansin Yo. Sometimes when he's crying or unsettled and I'm holding him, I can feel like a huge difference when I'm just trying to rush through it and be like, hey, just like getting him to calm down so I can put him down and go back to sleep or go back to whatever I was doing. And it's just so clear, like these reflections of my mind and what's actually happening, and just the nature of things. Like, he's reflecting it back at me so clearly that it's like, when I just stop in moments like this and reflect on it, it's so confronting. Like, when I'm just trying to rush for him to stop crying, he obviously doesn't. But then when I'm actually just there and like bouncing up and down and holding him and looking at him and being fully present with him and just here and holding the space, holding him, like, he settles down so much quicker. There's like this huge difference when you're doing something for show, or when I'm doing something because it's like right in this moment and it's right, and my heart has like overridden my mind, and it's taken away from all the voices, all those things that I've learnt. And sometimes they're good, but a lot of the times they can just be noise. And it's like, why have I been filling my head? Have I just messed myself up by filling myself with so much confusion, so much information, and they're all eventually, once you learn too much, they become conflicting. And is there a way to just reset your mind and remove all these voices? Or am I forever going to be carrying around this baggage of what this person said or what this person said? And it makes it so hard to listen to, like, in here and the real like truth and the way, when you have many voices and many like belief systems going on. It's like, I just want to hit a button and kind of remove all these belief systems that have been programmed into my mind, so I can just be me again. Even like as simple as like the way I eat. If I'm going to a restaurant or eating something that is out of my control, I instantly have like thoughts and processes and alarm bells going off, thinking, oh, is it Is it organic? Is it raw? Is it this? Is it this? And like, it's hard just to live like the flow of life. Sometimes it gets so messy and crowded in here that the flow of life is completely like inhibited. Because everything needs to be done, and it needs to be calculated and logical and all masculine. Like, I'm doing this for this result. And yeah, when something is slightly out of alignment, I either try to change it or I close off and hide away from it. And so yeah, so right now, I can find myself trying to like calculate and justify like what my lesson is right now and what I'm trying to be learning. But yeah, I'm just here, like, experiencing life, just trying my best to be me and being the best father I can, the best partner I can, and enjoy this experience so one day I don't have to look back at it with regrets, being like, you were on the outside, you were doing all the right things, but your state on the inside, you were trapped in your mind, and you were controlling things, and you weren't even being yourself because you cared too much about what you should be doing or what you look like on the outside or people think of you, when you know what's right inside your heart. If you just stop and slow down, you know what's right. So I guess, yeah, it's to have more presence, like slow down more, like things that need to make sense, let go of these programs and belief systems, and yeah, slowly just appreciate it and appreciate this whole journey. And that's all good.